writing so many poems about dreams. You're talking about the little chapbook, Dreaming on the Other Side of Time. The truth is that this little chapbook doesn't hold a tenth of the poems I've done that are related in some ways to the dream. Years ago, I had a very close friend, been a friend of mine since October 11th, 1956. It was at a sweater sale in Lincoln, Nebraska, stationed in the Air Force down there. There was a sweater sale, and there was this wonderful Jansen, thin black and red stripes, not even stripes, but rows. I just loved it. It was on the sale table, and I was trying to pull it out of the other batch of sweaters, and was suddenly aware that somebody was on the other side of the table trying to pull it too. And it was a woman, and I was with a friend of mine, Richard C., and he said, "Let the lady have the sweater." So I let the lady have the sweater, and I ended up finding another like it a few days later. And they had more in the back room that they brought out for the sale. But that day, the lady got and he and I went down to have lunch at the Hotel Cornhusker at the powwow room. And the lady was there with a friend of hers, and she turned out that she was the daughter of George Holmes, one of the wealthy people in the city of Lincoln, Holmes Park, Holmes Pond, Golds of Nebraska, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, Joe also wrote poetry, and we became good friends. And she had a skill that I didn't have, and that was she was much better at spelling and punctuation. When I was in school, for a while they tried to teach us the Roosevelt method of spelling, which was, knife started with an N and elephant had an F in it. But America didn't go with that, and we were a test pocket, and that was sort of the end of that. But it just screwed those of us who were test pocket students up as far as spelling for the rest of our lives. Thank God there's spell check now. Don't know if that was reverse engineering or what, but thank you for spell check. At any rate, Joe began way back then reading my poems and often saying, this is spelled wrong, you ought to have a comma here, and why don't you put a semicolon there? And she continued doing that until she died. And she died in 2011. We're still dealing with her estate, and I have nobody right now to send those poems to. I've been working on novels right now. But every once in a while, one of the dream poems would come through that she really liked. And she would keep a copy for herself. And I wrote a lot of them, but there were just some that she liked. And she told me one day that she was going to form this little chapbook company, and she was going to be publishing her favorite among my dream poems so far. And she showed me the collection, and she said that she was going to take the title, one of the poems as its title, Dreaming on the Other Side of Time. And, when you flathead like that, you just say, thank you, ma'am. And I'd like to put together a much thicker collection of dream poems because I've got so many that I think are good. Well, listen to me and my ego. Of course, I think they're good. But this collection is still around, and it's still selling, and it's only about $7, something like that. That's how it began. But because she took the time to like things like that. There's a lady that I miss. I tell you, that's been you don't often have a friend for that many years. I miss her a lot. Anyway, Dreaming on the Other Side of Time the poems come from me, but the idea for the little collection came from Sarah Jo Holmes.